I'm here with Marcelo. We both watched Arsenal draw away to Brighton. Dropped points in them before, actually, because earlier on in the season we came a cropper against Brighton. So it's been a bit of a bogey team for us this season. But I've got to say, and I'm sure you will agree with me because I heard your comments on the stream, disappointing day for Arsenal. What do you put it down to?
Just a lack of depth, a lack of quality and depth and investment this summer in attacking players. I think that's the one area Arteta just refuses to address adequately. And it showed today. And, you know, that second half especially was one of the flattest we've seen all season from us. And we just didn't look like we wanted it. I don't want to do that lazy, punditry of they were more hungry, but you need to look like you're chasing a title. And none of those players out there really looked like they were. It was just so flat. Yeah.
I've got to ask you, was you happy with the team? Because there was a few people expressed their surprise and disappointment that the midfield was shaped in the way it was. We had Partey playing at right back, so he was taken out of the six. We had Jorginho in there, Mourinho, and then Rice at 10. A lot of eyebrows raised. How did you see that?
I was very disappointed all around with the starting 11. I think it's hard for me to put too much on Arteta. I don't know if Odegaard really was ill. I think he should have been starting with Rice as the 6. And I think Trossard, I can't believe he played the entire game because he was non-existent. I think Martinelli should have been starting on the left. So that's the main things for me. I think the midfield should have had Rice at the base and Martinelli on the wing. Yeah.
And then the game gets going. And to be fair to Arsenal, we made a decent start. I mean, it wasn't a great game, I've got to say, but I thought we made a decent start. And then Nwaneri gets a goal after 16 minutes. I thought he took his goal really well. He looked bright, he looked sharp, looked like he wanted to go after the fullback, which is what we want to see as Arsenal fans. But then at half-time, he gets substituted. Now, that did take a lot of us by surprise. I want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah. I was surprised as well, and I want to start by saying Nwaneri is maybe my favorite player after Saka, but I wonder if the muscular injury thing that's come out after the game, how true it is. I pray it's not, but I think Nwaneri after his goal...
Sorry, you said a muscular. There has been some reports that he may be injured.
Right.
Are you saying then that you've heard that it's a muscular injury?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but that's what the news is right now. But I do think actually that after his goal, he was a little bit sloppy. There were a few times where he lost the ball over dribbling. He tried to nutmeg a player in our own half when there was a player right next to him to pass it to, and he lost it. I think those little moments maybe had Arteta frustrated. Now, if it's an injury, everything I'm saying is negated, but I don't think that he was great, and I'm saying that as a huge fan of his. So if we kept him on, we might have looked more dangerous in the second half. So, looking back, maybe it was the wrong decision. But if it was muscular, then, Arteta didn't really have a choice, did he? So it's just frustrating no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. What I would say, though, about Nwaneri, you are right. There were a couple of sloppy moments from him. But in terms of his attacking impetus, he was by far the person that was showing for the ball and really looked like he wanted to make something happen.
Yeah, and very quickly on that, when you're a young player, you want to see a player with that kind of bravery. And so you could say, is that sending the wrong message from Arteta to punish him like that? And that's a fair point. But yeah, we'll find out.
And I've got to ask you, and I've asked a couple of the other guys, because I'm searching for answers. I can't quite put my finger on it as to why Arsenal are seemingly unable to put together back-to-back good performances. So for example, if you go back to the Everton game, that everyone would say that was a poor game.
Yeah.
Then we go and play Palace. We beat them 5, back-to-back 5s against Palace. But then, we play Ipswich, not so good. Then we play Brentford, very good. And then today, poor. How do you describe that?
I think it's, I'll start with the word luck, and I say it reluctantly, right? But I think it was said by someone in a recent fan cam, might have been Christian, but title winners need a bit of luck. However, the much bigger factor is a lack of quality and depth. And I'm just going back to what I said earlier, that, Arteta didn't address enough our attacking needs. And you saw that today. Obviously, Saka's irreplaceable, but Trossard just has not been a threat this season. And if Martinelli isn't fully fit, we're just lacking that extra player that can pick us up when we're down. And at striker as well. Jesus had 6 goals in his last 3 games, but he was a ghost today for the most part as well. So it really is just that lack of those killer moments where someone can just take the game and make something happen on their own. So yeah, the inconsistency is in part down to absences, unpredictable absences, but those are also the moments where you build the squad properly and you're not too worried about that. So it's a mix of factors, but it's largely within our control, and that's what hurts the most about it.
And finally, just very quickly, transfer window coming up. Arsenal being linked with a few players. Is there anyone in particular you would like to see coming to the club, realistically speaking?
Yeah, realistically speaking, I don't see us signing a striker this window. Cunha is a good player, but is he what we need exactly? I don't think so. If we're talking realistically, I think Semenyo or Mbeumo or even Nico Williams, I think those are all options as a winger. But in terms of our striker situation, I don't think we're signing a striker until the summer. So do with that what you will.